The Boston Celtics, in my opinion, are currently the most talented and probably the best team in the NBA. Now, if you're a fan of any other great team like Denver, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this guarantees Boston winning the finals. I'm not even predicting them to necessarily win the finals, although I think they do have a good chance at it. I'm just going to say pound for pound, talent for talent, I don't think there's a team that can match them. Now, they've been very talented in the past, and obviously have not been able to win the finals in the very near past of what we've seen. So I'm not in any way saying that they're favorites or even going to win the finals. I'm just going to be giving my opinion and my arguments to why I think Boston probably is the most talented and best team overall currently in the NBA. So if that does sound interesting to you, please watch the video all the way through. Hit the like button, subscribe button if you like it at any point. And without further ado, without running on too much, just get right into this video. Alright, so first things first, let's just address the talent of their starting five. Their starting five consists of Jason Tatum, an legit MVP level player and probably top 10 player at minimum. He's one of the best players in the league, hands down. I don't really need to talk about him much. Everybody knows how good Jason Tatum is. Jaylen Brown, another guy, he's probably one of the best shooting guards, a top 5, top 3 shooting guard in the entire NBA. Now, outside of his amazing dunk contest that we just all had to witness, he has been a very good player for them this year, and he's just all around always a good player. He can score the ball, he can shoot the ball very well. Really, the only flaw in his game is his ball handling, which is improving slightly every single year. He's just all around an extremely, extremely good player and an all-star level player as well. And then you have Kristaps Porzingis, the newest addition to this team. Kristaps Porzingis has really been a huge piece of this team. He's been able to space the floor as a big, been able to block shots, play good defense, and really just all around has been a very key contributor to his team and been one of the better additions any team made last offseason. Then you also have Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He's been that for a very long time. He can give you 20, 15 points anytime you need him to, although his scoring has reduced this year, obviously because he's taking a back role to the vastly talented starting roster he's with. But Jrue Holiday can get the ball done. He's an all-star level player. Everybody knows what Jrue Holiday does and how valuable he is, especially to a playoff team. He's won a championship. We know he can compete at the highest level and win at the highest level. He's already shown that, and he's just a great player to have on your team. And then lastly, Derek White rounds out the starting five, and Derek White somehow has been in tons of all-star conversations. Now, although I'm not part of the group that thinks he should have been an all-star, he definitely is having his best season and is playing at an extremely, extremely high level. And now let's break down every player in this team and why this is such an amazing starting five. Because anytime Jrue Holiday is your fifth option on the offensive end, you are an insane team. There has been no team ever that Jrue Holiday has been on that he has been a fifth option. Like, if you would have told anyone this year that he would have been the fifth option on offense, you probably wouldn't have expected that either. But that is legitimately where they currently find themselves. And it's mainly because, not because Jrue Holiday regressed, not because Jrue Holiday isn't a great scorer, but it's because he's playing behind an MVP level player, a top 5 shooting guard, Kristaps Porzingis, who's one of the best scoring bigs in the entire NBA. And then all around, then you also have Derek White, who's playing amazing and shooting at a very high clip. And then you have Jrue Holiday, who's still a great player, can score the ball when he needs to, and really just can focus on defense, and is probably where he is best as well, focusing on being a point guard and just locking down the other team's best player. And I don't think there's any other starting five that you can argue is even close to them from a talent perspective. Maybe you could argue Denver. I really do like Denver's starting five, but I think that fifth option is nowhere near as good as Boston's fifth option. But also, I think their first option is the best in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. So it kind of evens out. But in my opinion, I would give the edge to Boston's talent in the starting five to starting five. But it's not even just that. Like, this whole team is just very, very good, because even their bench is extremely, extremely solid. Look at guys like Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard is an amazing role player you have on your team. He's a high grit guy, going to play extremely hard, and it's just overall an extremely, extremely solid backup point guard to have off of your bench. Al Horford has been starting on high-level playoff teams his entire career, and he now finds himself as a 6th or 7th man, depending on who they play. And Al Horford is still an extremely usable player. A lot of people aren't talking about him because he's their 6th man and is off their bench, but he is still an extremely big part of this team. He rebounds when he needs to. He can spread the floor. He still easily gives you high-level spot minutes, and is going to be a very valuable veteran to have coming off your bench. Sam Hauser also been one of the more underrated bench players in the entire NBA this year. He can shoot the hell out of the ball, and is just an all-around extremely solid player. And then you even add under the fact that they traded for a guy like Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman legitimately could help round out this lineup. He's an extremely tough, extremely strong player who's just going to do all the dirty work for them that you want off your bench. And anytime you have someone like that, to be your last guy off their bench is extremely valuable, because now teams aren't going to be able to bully you. Not that they're going to bully the Celtics anyway, but teams aren't going to be able to bully their bench, because Xavier Tillman can be that enforcer, that rebounder that he's always been when he was with the Memphis Grizzlies, and he has a very real chance to be a very solid player for them going into the playoffs, and could be the legit final piece to this elite puzzle that the Boston Celtics are trying to put together. So really, from their immense talent on their starting lineup to their immense talent off their bench, I think the Boston Celtics are probably all around the best team in the NBA, and also this kind of all goes together as they are currently a top 5 team in offensive and defensive efficiency as well, and it really just shows you how well constructed this team is. And if they're going to win a finals, if Jason Tatum is going to ever win an NBA finals, this is the year he has to do it. Because I'm personally not a critic of Jason Tatum, but I'm definitely not as high. I don't think he should win an MVP till he wins the finals at this point, because he has had extremely talented teams around him for basically his entire career. Now, yes, he's been a big part of all those teams, but he still had immense talent and is yet to win the finals. He's been there multiple times and has lost it every time. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals a lot and lost it a lot of times. So I really want to see him win at this highest level before I put him in that same category as like Giannis and Luka. But if he's able to win this finals this year, he will very much enter that conversation and will probably open him up to winning MVPs and things like that in the future as well. And I think he very much could get that accomplished at the end of this season. But unfortunately, guys, that's more for this video. Comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Boston Celtics can win the finals? Do you think they're the most talented? If not, who do you think is the most talented? I want your thoughts in the comment section below. And then point to the like button and subscribe button. That's a word to me. And I hope you have a blessed day, because I had a blessed day, so you need a blessed day. All glory to God. See you next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.